everyone. Welcome to Learning Along with Miss Meg. Today we're going to be talking about the 300 section. There are a lot of books in the 300 section, different kinds of books. One of them I've already mentioned. When I talked about chocolate, I mentioned one that was 338, which was in the money-making business type book. So money-making books are in 300s. There's also government books, military books, civil rights, education, holiday books, folk and fairy tales, and legends. Today, I'm going to talk about holidays and government type books and legends. So, the first book I'm going to talk about is called America's Oddest Holidays. Its call number is QJ394.26 Edwards because it's written by Erica Edwards. And it's a Q because it's a little bit bigger than your normal size book, so more than 11 inches long. So, this book talks about the oddest holidays. And these might be some holidays that you may want to try out to do. So, I'm going to tell you about a few of them. And one of them is a birthday party for Winnie the Pooh's friend Eeyore. And this Eeyore's birthday party started in the University of Texas in Austin by the group of literature people, and they wanted to celebrate Eeyore's birthday. It later went to Friends of the Forest, and they made it a day-long festival on the last Saturday in April. And on this day, like most festivals, you have face painting and singing and dancing and games and drum circles and all those fun things that you do at festivals. Now, most of these organizations try to raise money for certain charities. And so Friends of the Forest decided to raise money for donkey rescues. Another holiday is a fun holiday because it's National Pie Day. National Pie Day is coming up next year in January 23rd. It was created originally in 1975, but then the American Pie Council took it over in 1986, and you can celebrate this by baking pies, eating pies, taking pies to your friend's house. You can celebrate it by having a throwing pie contest. Sounds like fun. And sharing pies or your favorite kind of pies, memories that you might have. This holiday should not be confused with another Pie Day, which is spelled P-I, and is celebrated on 3/14, which is the first three digits of the mathematical formula for pi. And on that day, people also eat pie. And other food holidays that fall during the year, besides Thanksgiving, and these fall all in November. November is a very food-oriented month, is Deviled Egg Day on November 2nd, National Sandwich Day on November 3rd, National Indian Pudding Day on November 13th, Homemade Bread Day on November 17th, and Eat a Cranberry Day on November 23rd. Another food holiday is, this is a really fun one, National Eat Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. How would you like that one? That began in 1960 in New York when a mother decided to feed her children ice cream for breakfast to help them learn and celebrate the cold winter months. The kids enjoyed it so much that they spread the word about it when they grew up, and it became a holiday celebrated in Rochester, New York. So restaurants today in Rochester offer a special breakfast menu the first Saturday of February that makes cold days more fun and eating ice cream for breakfast. The money raised for this event goes toward Western New York's Make-A-Wish Foundation. There's a lot more other odd holidays in this book, so read it and see if you can celebrate one of them. The second book I'm going to talk about is a book in a government section, or maybe civil rights, kind of. It is called Suffragists and Those Who Oppose Them. Its call number is J324.623, Vink, because Amanda Vink wrote it. Suffragists are people who fight for women's rights to vote. Women can vote today, but a long time ago, they weren't allowed to vote. So this book talks about the history of what happened to help women earn the right to vote. Where it started, which started a long time ago, like in the late 1800s, and people that were opposed to it because they felt women should be involved with charitable things, or maybe they would argue with their husbands if they had a different political party, or whatever the case may be. People were opposed to the idea of women voting. So a group of women got together and they made a group and they worked on trying to get the women's right to vote. Now, there were even clashes within the group, and it broke into two groups because they opposed each other. But eventually, these two groups came together, and they worked on lobbying the government to add an amendment to the Constitution to have women vote. And that didn't happen until 1920, and it was the 19th Amendment. And that's what this book talks about, all the problems that we had in having women voting. The last book I'm going to talk about is called Mermaids. And this is a book dealing with 398.21 Alberti is the call number, and it's dealing with legends. So it's a short chapter book, and it talks about where mermaids are found, their history, whether there are mermaids today, and some of the folklore surrounding them. Now, we know mermaids are found in water. Some people believe that mermaids are bad luck, and other people believe that they're helpful. It also talks about mythology and how they introduced mermaids. It talks about mermaids, and it talks about how mythology brought about mermen. And it talks about the difference between them. So it says how mermaids have long flowing hair, and they wore shells and corals, and they like items like jewelry, and they carry a mirror, and they carry a comb. And mermen, which are similar to mermaids, they have long hair also, but some have beards, and mermen are large and strong. Throughout this book, there are different mermaid facts, and it's just a splash is what it's called. So some of the mermaid facts that are given are, for example, in some stories, mermaids are immortal. This means they can live forever. Also, another one is another just a splash. The Odyssey is a long Greek poem from the 700s BC. It was the first story to mention sirens, sea creatures of Greek mythology. So this book talks about all the different kinds of mermaids. It talks about the difference, like how people dress up for mermaids. It talks about where they live, like underwater, and what kinds of mermaids there are, like musical ones, or some of them are how some of the mermaids are kind and what they do to help people who are in danger. It talks about all the different characteristics of mermaids. At the end is a timeline of mermaids and also there is a short quiz after you read the book talking about mermaids. So, if you want to find out more about this legend of mermaids, read the book and find out more. So, next time I will talk about different kinds of books. And as always, if you have a topic that you're interested in, let me know and I'll talk about it. Until then, enjoy learning.